Puppy started right. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome in. Let me see if y'all could hear or see me. Give me a one in the chat. Give me a one in the chat. Give me a one. Welcome in, everybody. Everybody that's watching in around. We are doing our Friday night live, man. Our Friday afternoon live as well. Let's get a little bit on that. There we go. Friday afternoon live, man. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. If this is your first time jumping on in, coming across the content, put me a one that you could hear me down in the chat. Make sure that you could hear and see me too down in the chat. Welcome in, man. We're getting ready to kick off and start. We're going to do a quick update on what's the temperature like in the federal government contracting space, as well as we're going to do quickly a couple of solicitation review. I've gotten a couple of calls, a couple of emails over the past week. People are concerned about what it is being in this federal government contracting space with everything that's going on in the climate, in the federal government and all that, with all of the crackdown, the cuts. But this is the space that you need to be in. I've told everyone time and time again that regardless of what's going on in the administration, regardless of who is in office, the federal government needs to keep the federal government going. The federal government will not stop. We have lasted through recessions. We have gone through pandemics and all of the other stuff too as well. So this is just part and parcel of the process as we actually move on and go forward. So when you're coming on in the building, man, do me a favor, drop me down in the chat. Let me know that I could shout you all out. Make sure y'all could hear and see me. Let me know where you're watching, where you're tuning in from, so I could shout you all out. For those, everybody that's watching over on Facebook and on Instagram, on TikTok, if you want to be able to see everything that we're discussing as we're doing our live review, I'm answering questions too as well. I highly encourage you to jump on over to YouTube. YouTube is where it's at, man. YouTube is where the party is at. I could be able to bring up your questions on screen if you have questions. If this is your first time coming across my content, first time joining in live, I am Coach Jay with the FGC Simplified Community, and we teach entrepreneurs and business owners how to get started and how to win federal government contracts. If you have been registered inside of SAM.gov for multiple years, if you have just been hovering around the thought of being in this federal government contracting space, but you really don't have a system or a process that you could follow for you to find, understand, and win federal government contracts, then this is the space that you need to be in. This is the space that you need to be in. We have a simplified process, simplified steps that you are able to follow, a blueprint that you can follow to be able to find, understand, and win federal government contracts. So on tonight, I'm going to see if I could answer some questions that you may have pertaining to what it's like being in this space, what it's like actually going after these solicitation. I'm actually going to show you too as well how we actually review a solicitation to know if this is right for us to go after, what it is the federal government is actually asking for, and how we are able to fulfill and give the federal government what they want. So you get to steal my homework. You get to see the way that we process and do federal government contracting, so you can be able to do it too as well. So if you are new here, I answer all questions as it pertains to federal government contracts, what it's like, what to do, and all that. So if you have those different types of questions, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. We're going to hang out here for a couple of minutes so I can show you what it looks like when it comes to this federal government contracting space. All right. So for those that are on TikTok and all that, if you all want to see my screen, if you want to see audience participation in what we're talking about, come on over and join over at YouTube. You will be able to see that too. Okay. So let's answer this question right off the bat. I've gotten this question, hey, coach, I cannot find any opportunities to go after. Listen, I've been on sam.gov and I've been looking for opportunities to go after. I don't know what to pursue. I don't know what to go after. I can't find opportunities on sam.gov. So if you go over to sam.gov, and again, I highly encourage everyone to do this search on a day-to-day basis. Go onto sam.gov right now and we can see, because we're going to actively bring up sam.gov. Anybody can go onto sam.gov and you can see right now what it is the federal government is actually looking for and asking. So right now, we're seeing here that the federal government is looking for inspection and repair of garage doors. The federal government is looking for vehicle outfitting. All of these are opportunities that if you are new to this federal government contracting space, if you are now getting started in federal government contracting, these are opportunities that you can actually win. You can actually win these federal government contracts. So if you are new, if you're a total newbie and you don't know what it is we do and how we do our federal government contracting, let me take this moment and just to introduce for you real quick what it is we do in this space. All right. So again, I am Coach Jay with the FGC Simplified Community, and we specialize in what is called the middleman strategy or the subcontracting method when it comes to federal government contracting. What does that mean? That means that you do not need to have the employees, the tons of employees up front. You do not need to have tons of capital up front to get started and win federal government contracts. You just need to know how it is to find the need of the federal government. And then you find a local business, a local subcontractor that has what it is the federal government is actually looking to fulfill. Have the manpower, have the equipment, have the merchandise that the federal government is actually seeking. And we bring the two together. We partner with or team up with a local business that has the requirements that the federal government is looking for, and we are able to fulfill and add value to the federal government by simply providing their needs, and we are able to do it from the comfort of our home. Meaning that I don't have to physically go out to the location to actually fulfill what it is the federal government is asking for. I do not have to physically put boots on the ground in order to have and to fulfill a federal government contract. And that's what we're going to show you tonight, how simple it is. Now, if you want to do that method, if you want to be able to do federal government contracting from home, then we recommend that, listen, and I know I could hear the sayers and all that right now, and I will be the first to say, not all opportunities that you come across on this federal government contracting space, not all opportunities can be subcontracted. Sometimes the federal government wants the prime contractor, the one that's holding the actual contract, they want them to complete the totality of the solicitation or the totality of the contract. If you are exercising the subcontracting method, meaning that you don't have the manpower or the equipment to fulfill what it is the federal government is wanting, and you come across an opportunity like that, you just move on to the next one. Why sit there and wallow in an opportunity that the federal government wants the actual prime contractor to be the one that's out there fulfilling the work? If you come across that opportunity and you know that is not your strategy, that is not your method, then just move on. There are thousands. Let's take a look at sam.gov. Take a look at sam.gov right now. So right now we have a list of opportunities that right now the federal government is looking for small businesses like you and I to be able to fulfill and win these federal government contracts. And right now, as we can see, that there are over 20,000 20,600 opportunities right now as we speak. The federal government is looking for a small business like you and I to actually fulfill this opportunity. So what we teach you and what we show you is how I can fulfill, add value to the federal government by providing a need that they have by simply finding these opportunities, understanding what it is the federal government is asking or requesting, and then finding an opportunity, a small business that I can partner with, that I can team with to fulfill what it is the federal government wants. It's that simple of a process. And you just need to understand the mechanism behind it to be able to fulfill it. All right. So we're going to cover that today. Today, we're just going to jump on for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to walk you through what it is we look for when we're actually working these opportunities. What it is we look at when the federal government is being and requesting a product or service from us. And I'm going to let you know right off the bat, it's as simple as just being able to read and comprehend and understand what it is the federal government is asking for. All right. So let's jump in. I'm trying my best to dispel the myth, because when I'm having my coaching calls, when I'm having my one-on-ones, a lot of people are hesitating to get into this federal government contracting space because they get intimidated just because of the unknown. They don't know what to expect when they're coming into the space, so they're sitting on the sideline, they're sitting on the fence when there are so many opportunities for them to actually take action and be able to win a federal government contract. So the first one we're going to look at today, is an inspection and maintenance and repair, inspection, maintenance, and repair of garage doors. So the federal government is looking for a small business or any business to provide door inspection and maintenance of it and repair. So for all my people that's on different platforms, again, if you want to see my screen, if you want to see what it is that we're watching, what it is that we're reviewing, we're going over, jump on over to YouTube. On YouTube is where you will be able to see my screen and all that. You'll be able to ask questions. I could take questions from you there, and I'll be able to answer and address any concerns you have as we're walking through this solicitation review. We want to review it together so we can somewhat remove some of the unknown fear that you have from jumping into federal government contract. It's FGC Simplified is our YouTube channel. We're there. We come on live every single week. We review solicitations so you can be able to take action in this space. All right. So on this right now, we're looking at inspection and maintenance of a repair of a garage door. As we can see, this is active right now. So these are active opportunities. This is not pre-recorded. This is active opportunities that's out there right now that the federal government is actually looking for. The federal government is looking right now as we speak for you to provide to them maintenance and repair of a garage door. So we can see here that the due date for this, you have until April 4th. So you got about 2 weeks in order for you to find a small business, and you should respond to the federal government, letting them know that you can be able to fulfill what it is that they're asking for. So we can see here that there are documentation. If this is your first time looking at a solicitation, let me let you know what it is that the federal government is looking for. So you can see the department that's requesting the product or service. It says it's the U.S. Department of the Interior. Most people who are coming into this federal government contracting space, they think that the federal government only comprises of the military. They only think of the military when it comes to this federal government contracting space. But there are so much more departments and sub-departments that make up the federal government, like the Department of the Interior. So There are so many departments that have personnel, that have equipment, have buildings that need to be maintained. So there is a broad area of products, services, and even real estate that we can provide to the federal government. So you can see right here who or where, which department is actually requesting the product or service. It says the Department of the Interior. And we can see here, they want you to inspect, maintenance, and repair of garage doors. So right off the bat, if I am utilizing the middleman strategy or I am doing the subcontracting method, I know right off the bat that I am going to be looking for some garage door repair companies. I know that the federal government needs a company to do some inspection maintenance and also repair of garage doors. Right off the bat, my mind should be thinking of companies that's within that. We can see right here, if you see this green button, it says active. So you know that there's money behind it, that this is something that is active right now. And they want all the responses to be due by April 24th. By April 24th, they want all the responses due. Okay. This one is not a set aside. So this one is available to small businesses, large businesses. There is no set aside for this. So anyone that's listening to me right now, if you get your business registered inside of SAM.gov, you have your cage code. You would be able to go after any opportunities that is set aside for a total small business, as well as if it's unrestricted. The federal government is looking for businesses to actually fulfill this product or service. And then we will have documents attached to it. In these documents, the federal government will give you everything you need. All the details and the description of what it is the federal government is wanting to be done will be entailed and encapsulated inside of these documents right here. And remember, this is our solicitation review. So we are going to look at these documents so you cannot be intimidated by federal government documents. There are so many people that are intimidated of documents. Why? The federal government will give you all the information that you need. I have coached many of people, and I had said that there are only two requirements if you want to be successful in this federal government contracting space. You want to be able to read and comprehend and then follow instructions. So you can't be intimidated by documents if the federal government, if you're just going to be successful in this space. They're going to give you all the information you need. You just got to be able to follow instructions. So let's go over to the documents. Let's open the documents so I can demonstrate for you how simple the federal government will make it when it pertains to you giving you the information needed to fulfill this garage door repair and service. But welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. This is our Friday solicitation review. If you have questions, please drop it inside of the chat so we can be able to go over it and answer. Our goal is to provide you as much information needed in order for you to be successful, to get off the bench and take action. You cannot win a federal government contract if you don't submit a proposal. But you're not able to submit a proposal if you're hesitant, if you are intimidated by the federal government. Again, this is a space that anyone can be successful in. All right. So as we open the documents, we can see it's the U.S. Wildlife Fishing Service is requesting quotes to inspect and maintain multiple bay doors at Don Edwards in San Francisco. So right off the bat, the federal government is letting us know where it is the federal government actually wants this product or service to be done. So we know that right off the bat, we are looking for garage door service and repairs in San Francisco Bay. I've been there a couple of times. Yeah, I've been to San Francisco a couple of times. It's cold. It's too cold for me. All right. So um, they start giving you instructions now on exactly what it is the federal government is being. And what I want to demonstrate, what I want for you to actually see in black and white is how clear and precise the federal government will be when it comes to giving you the information needed in order for you to submit a proposal. So this is clear as day. They're giving you the instruction on what it will take. All responsible business sources may submit a quote. That's you. That's you being registered inside of sam.gov. You have already checked 10 of the boxes by being registered and lifting your hand and letting the federal government know that you can be able to submit this proposal. The basis of the award will be the best value. The best value the federal government is looking for. There are different criterias when it comes to making a determination of who or where they're going to make the award to. It's going to be the lowest price, or it's either going to be past performance, or it's going to be technical description, or in this case, they're saying the award is going to be made for the best value. All right, where the contractor availability and past performance in good standings with no previous default will be considered equally to price. So they're looking for the best value for the best price. Okay, so they're giving you right off the bat when it comes to submitting a quote, submitting a proposal, submitting a bid, whichever acronym you want to use. This is what they want it to be. They want your bid to be on a company letterhead showing the total price, sam.gov, UEI code, a point of contact, a phone number, and an email address. And it says, if your company holds a GSA contract, make sure you pay attention to the if your company holds a GSA contract that would apply to this requirement, please provide the contract number. If you're new to this federal government contracting space and you do not have past performance when it comes to holding a contract, that does not mean that you can apply. The federal government does not only work with companies that have experience. They are going to work with companies that have experience outside of the federal government space, but could provide actual value to getting the actual need done. Okay? They highlighted for you that the quotes are due April 4th by 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and they want you to email it to submission, and they give you an address. That's it. So right here, they have broken down for you what it is you need to do in order to submit an actual price to have these garage doors done. They want it on your letterhead. If you are a small business owner, if you are new to this and you don't have a company letterhead, I would recommend that you go on to Canva. You go on to Word doc and you create a company letterhead. Listen, you have to come into this space with the mindset of you are now a business owner. And in order for you to win a federal government contract, you have to follow their instructions. The federal government is laying it out as clear as day for you, what it will take in order for you to hold and to win this federal government contract. No problem. I see Frederick is in the building. Thanks for breaking it down. Yeah, so this is what we do, man. This is what we do on this side on FGC Simplified channel. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel so we can give you as much information you need in order to take action. That's the goal in us doing this. I want to demonstrate for you how simple the process is and how clear the federal government will make it, so I can remove as many barriers, as many obstacles that you think that's in place for you not submitting a actual proposal, for you not taking action in this federal government contracting space. Welcome in, man. Welcome in. Thank you, man. Chris, I see you. Welcome in too as well. Sit back, enjoy, man. If you got questions, just let me know and we'll keep on moving. All right. All right. Hold on. I see Chris. Here we go. Chris, I got a question for you. It says, do you manage your contracts manually, or do you use a spreadsheet or a GSA? It all depends on how many contracts you have and if you're new to this. So me, I don't use a CRM. I don't use that. I just manage my contracts in my inbox. I have a way that I teach people how to set up their inbox in a way that I'm able to manage my contracts from that. Any correspondence that I receive from the contract officer or I receive from my subcontractors, it comes into my inbox that I'm able to manage it from there. So listen, everybody has a different style, a different process. There are many ways to do federal government contracting. When it comes to the management portion of it, you do what's best for you based off of how many contracts you hold and how active your contracts is. We have students that are in my community that their contracts they go out and perform services quarterly or sometimes semi-annually. So the only management and stuff they have to do is around that time. You said, you meant virtual assistants? It depends on you. It depends on how you have it. If you have multiple contracts going on at the same time that requires intensive managing, listen, most people, most companies, most people do not like to be micromanaged. But you are able to set up systems, processes in place in order for you to fulfill these. When you win the federal government contract and the contract is actually going on, you don't have to day-to-day micromanage the contract. There are certain milestones that you will set up. There are certain check-ins that you will do based off of the contract that's actually going on, and then you will just work with it from there. But most contract opportunities, you don't have to day-to-day manage it. That's why you can have federal government contracting going on and you can still do what your small business does on the back end. All right. Trey is asking, do I do state and local or just federal? I concentrate only on federal government contracting. I don't do state and local, but I know that there have been some students of ours that have gone through our training that have implemented our flow system and have won state and local. I concentrate on federal government contract because I know that there is a federal government facility in every single state, even overseas. So the options that I have are more than just state and local. I don't put myself in a box at all. What's going on, Tina? What's good with it? Welcome in, man. Welcome in. Chris got another question. Chris says, at the same for the solicitation as a proposal? Yeah. A solicitation is the federal government requesting a proposal, requesting a quote, or requesting a bid from the general public. A proposal is when we send in the needed information that the federal government is requesting. May it be a price, may it be references, may it be technical, whatever it is. When we respond to a solicitation, that is considered a proposal. We are proposing a price and getting the job done for the federal government. When the federal government selects your business as the winning bid or the winning proposal, then it turns into an actual contract. Then you hold the actual contract. So it's just the terminologies and the lingo that is used in the federal government space. But once you get into it and the more you use, the more you're in the space, you will get familiar with it. Okay? All right, let's jump back over to our review, man. Great question. Keep the questions coming too. Jump back over to the review. So we're looking at, again, for those that are just jumping on in, we are looking at this actual solicitation right here. The federal government wants a inspection, maintenance, and repair of garage doors, and they want this to be in by April 4th. Okay? April 4th, they want this to be in. So we have now opened the documents. If you look at the solicitation, they have included this document right here. And in this document, it will give us all the details needed in order for us to fulfill and win this federal government contract. So we have found the solicitation. We have gone over it to see exactly what it is the federal government is requesting. So now we're inside of the documents for us to look to see what it is the federal government is actually wanting. So what we're pointing out is how clear and precise the federal government will be. So we can eliminate the fear of you actually looking at these solicitation. Because as far as we see so far, the federal government will give you all the information that it is. Okay. So let's see. We got a question from Successful. Welcome in, man. Successful asked a question. Did you support using your home address, virtual address when registering your business for SAM.gov? So when you're registering your business for SAM.gov, you cannot use a virtual address or a P.O. box. Okay? The federal government will deny giving you a cage code if you try to use a virtual address or you use a P.O. box. There are two options that you have if you want to get started and get registered inside of SAM.gov. Either you use your home address, even if it's an apartment, even if it's a rental house, you can use your home address. It needs to be a physical address, okay? That is one option that you have. If you're new to this space, you don't have a business already established, use your home address to get into this federal government space and get your business registered inside of SAM.gov. Or you can use, if your small business that you already have has a physical address, you're more than welcome to use that physical address too. But just use your home address. No P.O. box, no virtual address. You are going to get denied and you're going to be going around in circles. All right? So now we know how it is to submit a proposal. So they want you here. Again, clear as day in front of us. Please submit your quotation showing the price. So they want the price of what it will cost to repair and maintain these garage doors. They want it on your company letterhead. They want to show your SAM.gov UEI code. They want a point of contact that they can reach out to, phone number, email address, and if, I emphasize the if, your company holds a GSA contract, please provide the contract number. If not, they're going to use the other information you have. Those are the requirements in order for you to submit a proposal to win this particular federal government contract. All right. Now let's get into the details. Let's get into the details of what the federal government is wanting. So now they're going into the statement of work. They're telling you what it is they actually want. The problem statement, they're letting you know the San Francisco Bay National Wildlife Refuge, big old acronym. They have a couple of roll-up doors. They said Bay 1. They have the maintenance building, features 5 heavy duty. Let me highlight it so everybody can see. The maintenance building includes 5 heavy duty commercial motorized steel doors. And again, I'm highlighting to show you how clear, precise, and clear-cut the federal government will be when giving you the information. All right? Each with a gearhead. They have bays 1, 2, 3, 4, and the maintenance building. Each of this approximately, look how detailed they're being. 18 feet wide. All of this is what they're giving you. And it's, let me see. Let me see how good. Let me see. Is this the one? Yep. Look at this. They have even included pictures so you can get a clear understanding of what it is the federal government wants to be serviced. So their federal government is looking for a company to come out in service, repair, and even replace these commercial roll-up doors on their maintenance building. That's how precise they will be. They were giving you the measurements, they're giving you the size requirements and all that. They're giving you all of the information right here. This is the requirement. They want the work to be completed within 7 months of notice to proceed. They want you, there we go, task, the maintain, repair garage doors in bays 2 and 3. The optional tasks involve making the necessary repairs to door 2 and 3, and bay 4, take them operational to be safe. So they want you to come out and give them the information needed in order to do this. Simple, clear as day on what they want. Let me see. Tina got a question. Let's see. Of course, man. This is our Q&A section. If you have questions, drop it in the chat. We will stop. We will pause, and I will give you my answer, because this is what I want you. I want you to walk away from. This is not just entertainment, but this is education for you to actually see it, understand how simple it is, see what it is we do, and you take action and be able. Okay. I have a questionnaire in the solicitation. Do I put that form at the beginning of the proposal? Listen to what the instructions to offer said. So as we mentioned before, the instructions in this solicitation only pertains to this particular opportunity. The opportunity that you're working on, they are going to give instructions on how it is for you to submit that proposal. So they want you to submit a proposal that they want to. Remember, 2 prerequisite in order to be successful in this space. You follow instructions and you read and comprehend. They're going to give you the information. So if in the solicitation that you are working on here, if it says to provide that questionnaire, then you give them that questionnaire. If they say to include it in or when, just follow the instructions. That's the best that I can give you without actually.